As you know, I did something stupid with my Blu-ray, and I'm going to show you how. We're going to replace this spindle back here, and I'm going to replace the servo with a brand new metal gear servo this time. We're going to replace the main shaft, which is bent. I'll show you how to do that. We're going to replace this gear. I'm going to put the spindle in the tail rotor feathering shaft, and we've got two new blades for the tail, and we've got two new blades here for the main rotor. So without further ado, let's get to work. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change this out on the head, main shaft. Okay, now just simply take the shaft, pull the bolt out right here, very carefully pull the shaft straight out. Just like that. Take the new shaft, make sure that this stub is the same on the new one, face down, push this all back together. Bolt back in, and all we got to do is just tighten this back up. Do a good job, don't over tighten it. Had Loctite on it. That is a nut you do not want to have. Okay, there we go. Heads back together. Okay, I didn't actually order one of these. I should have probably, but it was slightly bent. And I was able to straighten it out to work pretty good here and not be crooked. So we're gonna get away with that. What I'm gonna do is just go ahead and put on the rest of this mechanism. Okay, make sure that this set screw is tight, and you should use Loctite on there. And I put a drop of 3-in-1 oil on this, and because sooner or later things wear out, even though that's an oil-light bearing. Also, I'm going to put the blades on now. Make sure you put them on the right way. Okay, this metal geared servo needs to be reversed. I cannot do it on the transmitter because there are no reversing switches on there. I'm just going to reverse these two wires on the motor and then the two wires on the pot, leaving the white wire in the center. So the red and black on the pot, I'm going to actually cut them and splice them. When you're soldering wires like these, you want to really make sure you do a very good job, because this cannot come undone in flight, ever. So make sure you get a good strong connection. Okay. It all looks good. Make sure you look at everything over very carefully before we put this back together. And we'll put a little piece of tape around and insulate the one wire. Okay, again, look at your connections very good before you pack that down in there. Make sure everything looks good. And put the back on. See what happens. Test it. Let's see if it works. And it does. And see what happens if I give this left. Okay, next thing we do is going to take the gear. We want to put put the gear in. Just slide it in like this. Make sure the smaller one's on the bottom. Just push it in straight. Take your main shaft on your assembly and drop it down in the middle here until that lines up. Don't force anything. Now we're going to put the grub nut in here where that's lined up. Okay, so now I'm just going to make sure you put this in the slot here in the front. This goes up like this. Spread that out a little bit. So this is a guide. Okay, got it all done. The only thing I have to do is put the blades on. I've got it all set up again. What you want to do is make sure when this stick is centered, everything is centered here. Flat swash plate. And so fore and aft then is like this. Left and right is like this. I have it set up pretty soft. Center holes here, so it's pretty soft. Got my gyro set up here. This is kind of weird to figure out how this works, but that's kind of where it's got to be. And this is also where my hover pitch is going to be. So then we've got here, there's way too much throw on this. And I don't like that. It needs a half rate on this. But otherwise, I will probably put the blades on it, and then I will put it on the training stand, my test stand, to track the blades and see how it looks. But right now, everything's running pretty smooth. I've put it all back together, got everything checked out pretty good here. Everything looks like it's working good. Let's go ahead. I'm going to run it up on my test stand and make sure it spins good here. So let's see how this works.